The United States. Everybody lives there, especially the Americans. And what better subject for US stamps than how awesome the United States is? Well, it turns out that's already sort of a rule that all stamps must meet. So as a result, we get stamps for outstanding US politicians, artists, athletes, and droids. But a single stamp can't contain everything great about America. Sometimes you need an oversized set with 20, 40, or even 50 designs to capture the oversized nature of America. In this video, we'll take a look at 3 of these sets. So this is what a sheet of stamps used to look like. I don't know if you've bought a sheet of stamps in a while or ever, so I don't know if this is surprising to you, but you can see you have to tear these along the perforations and actually lick them to attach them to an envelope. The important part for this video is that there are 50 stamps on the sheet for many of the commemorative designs, and as many as 100 for a more regular design. And up till the 1960s, there'd be a single design across the entire sheet. I'm not sure why they stuck to the limitation of 1 design per sheet. It's not like they were printing 1 stamp at a time, but they didn't change this up until 1964 with this Christmas design that had 4 different designs repeated across the entire sheet. But think of the possibilities. 50 stamps, 50 unique designs. Each state could have its own stamp on a single sheet. And what better feast for the eyes to celebrate each state than their flags? We get the strikingly unique designs of Virginia, Nebraska, Utah, and Minnesota. We get flags that don't believe in symbolism and tell you who they are. And we get a couple of flags that were retired for some reason a while ago. Wait, 2021? The Postal Service would go on to do 2 more 50-state sheets. One in 1982 with state birds and flowers, and another in 2002 with Kurt Tyke-style greetings from designs. They did do another state flag release starting in 2008, but this was broken up across 5 years and was only released in coils for high-volume customers. Greetings from America was the last 50 stamp sheet the Postal Service has released about any subject, but they did get close a few years later with 2006's Wonders of America set with 40 unique designs. And in some ways this makes sense. Doing a stamp for each state means you have to include some boring states, like the Dakotas don't each need their own. What's even more exciting than states is to focus on the superlatives of the country. What are the biggest and best things we have to offer? Like, what's the largest lake? What's the fastest bird? What's the longest covered bridge? These were so exciting that the Postal Service went big on promoting the set. How big? How about custom coloring and activity book big? How about special postcard set? How about special postcard set for the coloring book? And it worked. According to a Congressional Research Service report issued the following year, Wonders of America was the 2nd most collected set of stamps ever at the time, second only to the 1993 Elvis stamp. And why not? Sometimes I need to be reminded what the largest freshwater fish is. Just like Greetings from America was the last 50 stamp set, Wonders of America was the last 40 stamp set that the Postal Service has released. And in some ways, these are both throwbacks to an older era. Now, they are both self-adhesive stamps, which was nearly universal by 2002, so that's something, but sheets of 40 or 50 stamps, even with just a single design, had fallen out of favor by this point. Part of this was improvements to printing technology. It used to be that if you wanted stamps with some cool birds on them, the best you could do was a turkey repeated 50 times in a single weird red color. By 2002, you could get a full-color, multi-design set of the coolest type of birds of all time: bats. This sheet is smaller than the old style, and a lot of space is being taken up by not stamps. And that's another key point. Along with printing tech changing in the 90s, the way people use stamps changed a lot in the 90s. After decades of a steady increase in first-class mail pieces per capita, we turned a corner in the late 80s, and ultimately we saw a decline starting in the late 90s, thanks in large part to the internet. If you wanted to send a web link to this video to somebody in the 1970s, you'd have to write down the URL and mail it to them in a letter. Today, you can save the cost of a stamp by just scanning that letter and attaching it to an email. So the normal sheet or booklet today is just 20 stamps. Sometimes it's even smaller than that. There's a limit to how much people want to celebrate the 1766 repeal of the Stamp Act. That's why when the Postal Service announced a big set to celebrate the country in 2018, they maxed out at 20 unique designs. That set was Oh Beautiful, which is based on that song about how beautiful America is. I think it's called America is Beautiful. Each row of stamps are related photos based on quotes from the song. The top row has spacious skies, the next has waves of grain, and so on. Unfortunately, they didn't go to verse 2, so that we get some feet pics. So will we ever get a truly big release again, or are we stuck with sets of 20 going forward? Well, who knows? The Postal Service went big for its celebrations of the bicentennial almost 50 years ago, and maybe they'll go big again for the sesquicentennial. The semi-quincentennial? The 250th birthday, whatever we want to call that. There's a big international stamp exhibition in Boston that year, and maybe they'll release something. But for now, it does seem like we're stuck with sets of 20. In any case, I'm going to go enjoy some US culture with some US stamps. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to check out some of the other ones on my channel. And if that coloring book from the Wonders of America set interests you, the USPS actually has a PDF of it still on its website. I put a link in the description. Check it out.